Hello, happy Wednesday. I want to talk with you for a few minutes about why having a breastfeeding support group is so important and why I feel it's pretty crucial to your breastfeeding journey and being successful. For those of you who don't know me, I am Darcy Zalewski. I write about parenting at darcyandbrian.com, and I am also the author of Breastfeeding 101, Beauty in Breastfeeding, which is available on Amazon. So when I had my daughter, she's 7 now. When I had her, I didn't have a whole lot of mom friends at the time. Most of my friends, most of them didn't have kids at the time. If they did have kids, they were significantly older, so they weren't used to that baby stage anymore. And I didn't really have friends that were breastfeeding at the time, and it was something that I hadn't been around a whole lot. I went to a class with my husband and things like that and was feeling pretty confident, but I didn't have a ton of day-to-day support from other moms who knew what I was going through in the very beginning. And I felt pretty confident when I got home, but I hadn't connected with any support groups, like a La Leche group or anything like that. And I wasn't really connected with any moms groups either at the time. And it's going to be different for everybody. Some types of support groups are going to be more helpful to you depending on your personality and the other people that are in the group as well. But within a few weeks of my daughter coming home, she forgot how to latch. We had no idea what was going on with it. She struggled to, just suddenly one day was struggling to latch to nurse, and I did not know what was going on. I was scared, I was upset. My husband didn't know how to help. We went to Google. We tried searching to try to figure out what was going on, why she would just suddenly one day not nurse. She was only 2 weeks old at the time. And thankfully I had a really supportive pediatrician, and we called him and he got us in right away. And I was able to get referred to see a lactation consultant and things like that, so that we could continue working towards my goal of breastfeeding exclusively. In that interim, I had to pump, but I didn't know how to pump. I didn't have a pump, and it was just a very, very scary time, and I felt very alone. I really wished I had a support group at that time, and that I had built that before I had my daughter. At that time, I was trying to find a local La Leche meeting, and I'll be honest, I have never gone to one of their meetings. I know that they are a wonderful organization. I know they've helped lots of women. I couldn't find one very easily that I could go to. And right at that moment, I didn't want to go anywhere. I was feeling very isolated and very ashamed, and just really, I was struggling. Plus, I'm pretty introverted, so the idea of suddenly showing up in front of a group of people that I don't know and talking about how I can't get my baby to nurse just terrified me. Thankfully, things worked out. We were able to meet with the lactation consultant. I had to do some suck training, which I will tell you guys more about that stuff at another time. And we were able to continue on our way. Over the course of the time that I was nursing my daughter, I started meeting other moms that had kids in a similar age. Other breastfeeding moms. I found online groups of breastfeeding moms, and at the time things were very chatty on Twitter. There were a lot of other breastfeeding moms that we'd be tweeting at like 2 or 3 a.m. When we're up with our babies, when no one else is awake, so that we can talk with them. And some days I just really needed someone to vent to about the struggles I was going through. I needed to hear from other moms that was I know the specific situation that I went through with my daughter isn't a super common one. It happens. But all the other types of things that I was going through throughout my breastfeeding journey, even as I was trying to get more comfortable with breastfeeding in public and things like that, it was just really helpful once I started connecting with other moms that either were also at the same stage or, had recently been breastfeeding. Being able to talk with them, get that support and encouragement, sometimes it just helps to, be reminded that, or told that, yes, this is normal, this is, or just some reassurance that things will get better, someone to listen. So that is one of the reasons why I have been very passionate about helping other moms, especially new breastfeeding moms, because it can be a struggle and it can be tough. It can be hard to get out and go to meetings, especially if you don't have childcare for your other children, or like we also only have one car, so that always throws a wrench in things sometimes. There's a lot of reasons why you might not be able to get out to go to a meeting, and it can be scary seeing all these different people that you don't know. As much as we want to meet new people, sometimes it's a little scared. So that's one reason why I absolutely love Facebook groups and the ability to have, these virtual support groups where, moms can get together and talk and support each other and give encouragement and ask questions, and in a safe space. So that's one of the reasons why I created the Beauty and Breastfeeding Mom-to-Mom support group, which I will put a link in the comments afterward, so that if you want to join, you can. Because I understand how crucial support is, especially in those early days. And I want to give women the support that I wish I had when I first started breastfeeding. I felt much more confident with my second because I'd already been breastfeeding my first, and I'm glad that I started building a support network as she reached 1, because prior to that, it had always been kind of fed to me that babies shouldn't nurse past 1, and it didn't feel right for me to suddenly stop her at 1. So having the support network that I built to support me with extended breastfeeding was really important and really valuable to me. So if you're thinking about breastfeeding or you're in your very early days, I really don't want you to feel alone. Whether you join my group or find your support somewhere else, I just think it's really, really important to find support. And different types of support. I mean, my husband was a great support, but there's only so much that he can do, and he only can understand so much of what I'm going through as a mom. And having your friends are a great support, and sometimes it's nice to have people that don't know you as well in terms of people that you see day to day and things like that. Sometimes it's kind of nice to have people that are just have that little bit of a removal from you and your situation when you are reaching out with questions and things like that. So if you'd like to join us, that would be great. If you have any tips on finding great support groups, especially local meetup ones for other moms that are interested in, a local type meetup, drop those in the comments. Because the main one I know about is a Leche, but I know that that can't be the only in-person type support groups. So any help that we can give to anyone else that's looking for support, greatly appreciate it. So I hope you have a fantastic day, and see you later. Bye.